Well, I gotta tell you something, guys. It's we're getting near the end of the year. Can you believe it? October is just about to wrap up, and then we have November, December, and then that is all she wrote for 2024 and possibly for this channel. Man, we are really cutting it close. We have a lot of things we want to get done before the end of the year. One of the things we'd like to do is one more modding project. There's a poll in the live chat. We'll talk about that here in a second. Also, some interesting new information has surfaced regarding the new AtGames Legends Ultimate HD arcade machine that is at Sam's Club now, potentially at a store near you. If not, they're on their way. They're going to be distributed across the country soon. If you don't see it like this weekend, maybe in a week or two, your store will have it. I know out here in the West Coast, for some reason, it takes a long time for Arizona to get stuff from Sam's Club and Costco distribution centers. So I'd be surprised if I'll see one anytime soon. And on top of that, I want to talk, since this is Multicade Mondays, we're going to be talking a bit about this upcoming pre-orders, well, not pre-orders, orders for your Ridge Racer PC, or if you have an OutRun Arcade1UP Mods, the PC builds that you guys have been waiting for from Buy Stuff Arcades. We're going to dive into that and what our thoughts are on what Buy Stuff, excuse me, has shown us so far. Um, oh, Bobby, I love you, man. I love you. We should put that poll up. I'm actually kind of scared to see who would be number one. I appreciate the sentiment. All right, guys. So remember, tonight is it's Monday. That means it's Multicade Mondays, guys. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. How you guys feeling tonight? Did your football teams win this weekend? Mine did not. My Bears, in one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen in the history of football. And because of that, we will not talk about it. That's right. We will not talk about what happened this weekend in Washington. It's just, it hurts too much. It hurts way too much. Charlie Chuck, you Browns won? Browns, baby. Eagles stomped the Bengals. There you guys go as well. Steelers fan. Mitchie, seriously, since you're a Steelers fan, who you got? Do you want Justin Fields back at quarterback? You know, they gave him 6 games. He went 4-2, but keep in mind, although he had like 10 touchdowns, like 6 of those were running. But a score is a score, right? A score is a score. I'd love to hear your feedback. We had enough of Justin Fields here in Chicago. We're happy with Caleb Williams and watching him develop. But man, what a shit show this weekend's game was, and that's mostly due to coaching, horrible coaching, and game plan design for that football game. Addicted to Arcade1UP is here. Thanks so much, man. Glad to see you're here as well. Have you been making any videos lately? You haven't popped up in my feed, bro. I always liked watching your stuff. Hopefully you'll make some more videos. PD7, you're always welcome in Wisconsin. Yeah, too many Green Bay fans in Wisconsin. 19K Fox and I are feeling the same pain this year. You don't score until you score. Michael B, coming from Michael B stream. Thanks so much, guys, for joining. Billy Woods Mods is here. What's up, dude? We gave you a shout out on in the officially unofficial Facebook group today. Yeah. Again, I don't want to get into it, man. We got a show to do. I don't want to get into it. The dude was not ready. And can you imagine if he was ready for the play instead of horsing around with the crowd? Idiots. What's up, Sir Sega? What's up, Ojib? Hopefully I said your name correctly. If you're here and you want your shout outs, let's get our shout outs out of the way. I see a lot of my personal favorites are in the live chat. We got Judge Thor, Mitchie B, Jason, Chris NXXW, the DeLorean Slot Car Raceway, Veisel's here as well, Mitchie B, Charlie Chuck, Scott Parisi, who I got to meet in person in Chicago. How about modding a Numbskull or New Wave Toys cabinet to relocate the battery to the bottom with a hinged hatch for easy replacement? It's a cool idea, but really not something that I'd be interested in doing. I've never really had a problem with the batteries on any of those machines. So, yeah. PDubs Candy, there you go. Oh, we already did that one earlier. Oh, finally, a real quality YouTube stream. The Michael B one is hard work. Man needs a smoke. The best part of Mike's live stream was watching the poor man rubbing the patch constantly. Did you guys see it? Like we're gonna have a new game in this community. It's gonna be called Rub the Patch. So whenever Michael B rubs the patch to try and get more nicotine into his blood, we all take a shot. I mean, are you in? Like, I'm in. Like, I totally want to do that. Carlos is here as well. What's up, Carlos? Good to see you. Mad Dog is here as well. Addicted to Arcade1UP says he's been laying low. I've been napping. Yeah, man, I love naps. Whenever he rubs the patch, we all take a cigarette break. There you go, MG. You may have won the internet today with that one. What are you guys going to be for Halloween? Really quickly, since Jim put this in the live chat, do you guys want to know what my wife and I are going to be? So my wife got an old-timey costume, and she is going to be Dolores from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like the Dolores, like where she's wearing, I think, like the big red, it's like a red or a purple coat and like the 1940s dress. And I got an Eddie Valiant tie and suit. I'm going as Eddie Valiant with the fedora hat and everything with the suspenders. So we're going this Halloween. She's going to be Dolores. I'm going to be Eddie Valiant. And we even ordered off of eBay. We found somebody selling a Roger Rabbit stuffed animal that's about this big. And it's an original Roger Rabbit stuffed animal that came out the year the movie came out, but it was wrapped in plastic. It had never been opened ever. So it's in mint condition. It's clean. So, of course, we'll have Roger Rabbit with us as well. So we're doing Who Framed Roger Rabbit this Halloween. What are you guys going to be? Real quick, let me know. I would have done Dubtober if I didn't. I had so much other stuff going on, James. Dubtober wasn't going to happen. Eddie, is that a rabbit in a pocket? Or are you just happy to see me? Yep, great quote from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Judge Thor says he was Taylor Swift and wife was Travis Kelce. That's interesting. I need to see pictures of that. Come on, guys, no costumes? None of you dressing up or none of you already went to parties? Like there were a lot of Halloween parties last weekend. None of you went? None of you dressed up? Wake up! Ah, man. Bill, wake up the live chat, Bill. Get nuts. Get nuts in the live chat, Bill. Mr. Clean, there you go. Half Joker and Crow. Yeah, that's not happening, Weissel. Marine 50 is going to be 56 years old with bad knees. There you go, man. Pretty cool. Dressed as a patient in the dental chair, addressing the tooth I broke. Ouch. Not dressing up. I live in a warehouse. No trick-or-treaters. That does sound kind of scary, Bobby. That does sound a little bit frightening. I'm going to be a treat. She's going to be a witch. It's also our wedding anniversary. Well, hey, how about a shout out in the live chat? Happy wedding anniversary to the Ford family. Good job, guys. All right, let's dive into tonight's show. So let's go over the poll real quick. So I'd like to get one more modding project in before the end of the year. And keep in mind, I have projects already in the work. I got this X Arcade controller that they sent me that everyone else has already got their videos out, but I was traveling, so I'm behind on that. Like I got it set up, I got it working with my PC with a 2 terabyte Bobby Vu Batacera build, and that controller works pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of the stand it's on, that big heavy metal stand. It's nice that it slides up and down the stand, so you could sit down and play or stand up and play. So that's kind of cool, but working on that. Got all my equipment downstairs, so we're finally ready. I was able to finally figure out how to capture the audio and the video off the Super Sprint arcade machine, as well as put a piece of tape on the steering wheel. That way, because we want to show you guys how everything functions with the games if you're interested in doing the 360-degree wheel mods. And what's really cool about putting the piece of tape on the wheel, you'll see how much turning actually happens. and that way you guys can kind of see like how sensitive is it, and which we'll talk about during the videos I'm working on for that. So I got to get those videos done and out of the way. But I'd like to do one more modding project before the end of the year. And you guys know how like everybody and their brother has been modding those Arcade1UP HS5s, dynamo shaped cabinets and stuff. So just to help with your votes. So I was thinking it'd be kind of cool because I do like the game Bionic Commando from Capcom. I think we could easily make this mod or get at least as close to it as we can. And I think we could get it going in that cabinet shape from Arcade1UP, and we could make a Bionic Commando cab. So that's one option that I'm interested in doing. Keep in mind, I haven't bought any Arcade1UPs this year at all. Haven't bought a single one. So I would buy the Street Fighter one, the deluxe or whatever it's called, the HS5, wherever I could get one. And then I would buy it just for the mods. So that's it. If you're a Bionic Commando fan out there, definitely let me know in the live chat. So that's one option for you guys. The other option is we could use the same cabinet, or we could technically maybe get away with a midway cabinet shape. But another one of my favorite arcade games from Capcom is Black Tiger, right? You guys have heard me talk about Black Tiger before. So we could do a Black Tiger arcade mod, which I think would look really, really cool as well. And of course, I'd make these multicades that you could play more games on, but I would limit it to, because both these games only have 2 buttons, like just 2 button games, that kind of stuff. Thought for sure you do Bad Dudes versus Ninja Dragons. There you go. Nope, I have no interest in doing that mod cornercade. So that's another one. If there's any Black Tiger fans out there. And then another one is we could grab one of the Arcade1UP Big Blues. I'm sure I could find someone selling a used one on Facebook Marketplace or somewhere out there. And I think we could turn an Arcade1UP Big Blue into a Captain Commando arcade. And I think that this would look really, really cool as well. We could probably get a control panel from 99 Lives Arcade or something like that. And I think we could do the Captain Commando mod, and I think that would look really cool as well. So those are the three. We're going to start from scratch. It would involve me having to buy an Arcade1UP, buying the artwork, buying the parts, putting it all together, but it'd be fun little multicade mods. So those are those three. And then the other one I put in, when I took a look at what I can get done before the end of the year, I did put down the Primal Rage restoration. As you guys know, I have an original real Primal Rage that I still need to restore. Now, keep in mind, most of the restoration is just cosmetic stuff, because hardware-wise, everything works fantastically. So nothing needs fixed there, but it would be fun. I have the artwork downstairs. I got the T-molding downstairs. I have everything we need. I just haven't done it, right? I haven't done it. So, it would be nice to do that as well, and that would be a fun project. But keep in mind, that's not really a multicade mod, but I don't have time before the end of the year to do a lot of projects. You know what I mean? I know some guys like my boy Fox here, he bangs out these projects like crazy. I don't know how he does it. The man's a machine. But between my naps, between my naps and everything else, it's kind of hard to find time to put the work in. So we could do the Primal Rage one as well. And so far, Primal Rage is winning the votes. But definitely let me know what you guys think about the other ones. I don't think you guys were that excited about it, but those are games I like. Those are games I like, so I figured it'd be fun, kind of like how I did 1943. You guys weren't expecting that, and everyone really liked it by the time it was done. You know what I mean? Everyone really, really enjoyed it. So keep the votes coming in. We'll let that simmer and shake as the broadcast goes on. Thanks so much, Fox. I appreciate the support. Yeah, naps take a lot of time out of my schedule. I don't know about you guys, but they take a lot of time out of my schedule. By the way, shout out for Gargoyles. Any Gargoyles fans out there? Come on, man. There's got to be some Gargoyles fans out there. Um, I think there's some reruns on the Disney Plus. My wife and I were watching, and I was like, man, this show is so good. It still holds up to this day. The Gargoyles cartoon. Okay, so let's kind of pivot over because we definitely don't want to make it a long stream tonight. And we got to get these topics out of the way. So I wanted to talk about, yeah, I have the Cuber cocktail, but there's no way I'll get that done before the end of the year, mainly because um, the glass top on it with the graphics that are reverse printed. There's only one guy I know of who could do that for me because that needs completely replaced, and that would be Joe Sabo. And do you guys think Joe Sabo would get that to me before the end of the year? No. I've heard from some people they're waiting on orders from 6 months ago and longer from Joe, and I don't want to pressure him or make other people fall behind by begging him to give me priority, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's not going to happen. So, but that could be a project I could do myself sometime next year in 2025. It's just been sitting there all year waiting for me to get to it. Cornercade's been waiting 7 months. 7 months, yeah. There's a live action Gargoyles movie in the works. That's interesting. So are the Gargoyles going to be CGI? Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. No, Scott, I'm keeping the upright. Definitely. The upright's not going anywhere. Uh, the cocktail might be one I restore and sell because I bought it for like what, $200 because it was in complete disarray. And if I fix it because it's one of only 400 made and probably one of only 50 left in existence, I could probably sell it for a grand or more to somebody out there, right? So I can flip that for a profit. I just got to fix it. I got my last one from Sabo's in 7 weeks. 7 months is insane. Yeah, he's running really far behind. They're gonna cast real gargoyles. Shut up, James. By the way, James, your video today, I gotta tell you, man, did you forget that Cool Toy is like a ninth degree jujitsu black belt? Like, dude, your video today, Cool Toy is probably gonna roundhouse kick you the next time he sees you, and I am here for it. Yes, the cocktail has a knocker. It does have a knocker. So yeah, there you go. What up, Dennis? Good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Dennis. All right, let's dive a little bit into this AtGames Legends Ultimate. So I put a video out last week. I was the first person to put a video out about this new Legends Ultimate coming to Sam's Club, like, short video, I should say. Short video saying, hey guys, here's the news. There were no other videos out there. Video did really, really well. I have a real audience. And, sure enough, after this video came out and because the video performed well, sure enough, there were a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, but there's like this little circle jerk of YouTubers who like ran around in their little group chats saying PDubs is buying views, PDubs is buying subs, buying likes and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, I've spent 5 years building a real following, not doing that stuff, not running promotions, and or just going to third party apps. So if I put out a video with a good title and it's a hot topic, people click on it, right? And they watch it. So people were like, he's a fake, he's a fraud. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I literally when what's funny too is like when you guys talk about me, you don't realize it. Your friends send me screenshots of what you're saying about me. Like your friends aren't really your friends. And it's embarrassing that you guys feel that way about me. And you know who you are out there. I'm not going to gaslight or put people on the spot. That's not my style. It just means I'll never work with you again. But what's interesting about all this is like I literally, you guys may have noticed I put a weird community post up a couple days ago. I'm like, guys, there's 2.7 views, 2,700 views on the video. Here's the analytics. And you'll see here, all the analytics are legit. There's no YouTube advertising views. That's when people are buying promotions and faking their stuff. I was like, I'll open my analytics up to anyone. You know what I mean? And would you be willing to do the same? Think about it. Because what's funny is the people that are accusing me of stuff are literally the ones guilty of doing it. So I think what it is it's their guilty conscience and their insecurity making them think that everybody does what they do. And those are personal problems that you need to work on yourself. Does that make sense? I did pay Frazzlebutt to be here. The check is in the mail. It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, the problem, see, I don't care if they want to talk in a circle jerk about me, but when they go to companies about me and lie to companies about me, that's when we're going to start to have some problems. So, but anyway, let's get back to this, guys. So, I put out the video talking about this machine and my thoughts. Now, keep in mind, if you guys watched my video that came out a couple days ago, it was 90% positive. It was 90% positive. It was the typical news video I do. I say, hey guys, here's the information, blah, 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 blah. And I only added, like I typically do, one or two small opinions, right? And I mentioned how this thing has the new user interface, right? The new AtGames user interface. And I mentioned how the last time I showed it, go read the comments on the video from when I showed it. People hated it. People didn't like it. People gave feedback in the Facebook groups that they weren't fans of it, that people didn't like the new user interface because now it looks like a wall of DVDs that you're sliding over, you know what I mean, versus whatever it was. You know what I mean? The new user interface, in my opinion, I don't like it. That's not a horrible thing. I don't like the user interface on these machines today. The only user interface from AtGames that I like and that I could probably say, just locking my camera, that I can honestly say I think a lot of people like is the user interface on the 4K pinball machine. Wouldn't you guys agree? The user interface is pretty cool. They did a good job, and some people are like, oh, they copied off of like a pinup popper and stuff. Well, who cares? People love that user interface, and if they want to take something inspired from it, make something similar that other people like, we will like it. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, totally cool with the user interface on the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K, even though it's not completely 100% unique, right? So anyway, so the video was 90% positive, 90% positive. And the only thing, critical feedback I provided in that video was about the user interface. I didn't say anything negative. I said that I like the artwork. I said I like the games list. This is probably the best games list on a Legends Ultimate versus just based upon what we're seeing here on the kick plate. The fact that you're going to have Taito, Atari, um, Rare, Microsoft games on here. The fact that they're having all these on here, and it sounds like the only ones they're getting rid of are the Data East and Disney filler, right? Like I said, best games list. It looks cool. I don't mind the fact that, there's no bezel artwork or control panel artwork, because honestly, that Tron artwork would have totally clashed with the side panel. I think that it all looks good, right? It all looks good. So, I said nice things, about this machine. Yeah, that same circle jerk of people running back to AtGames telling AtGames, PK, guess what? PDubs is hating on the machine. PDubs is causing trouble. PDubs is complaining about it. PDubs is trying to bury it. Why do people want to sell their soul just to be in favor and get free pinball packs from a company is beyond me. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Just make your videos with your opinion and let me make my videos with my opinion and stay in your lane. You know what I mean? Like, is that really that hard, guys? Is that really, really that hard? Anyway, so we found out some information. One of the biggest things or biggest issues that people are going to have with this machine is the fact that they've put the third-party apps and OTG mode and all that stuff behind a paywall, right? Now, people in my Discord were talking to me, as well as we assumed, just based upon the fact that they charge on the pinball machine $200 for those on the new Pinball Standard Edition. So if you wanted to unlock OTG mode, so you can connect your PC to run other games to it, you got to pay $100 for that. And if you want to unlock third-party apps, which would end up being like a new version of CoinOps if that ever comes out, which is basically Retro FE, new version of Retro FE, or if there is a what do you call it, a VPX standalone, things like that, so you could get access to that stuff for your USBs to work. That's $100, right? Now, AtGames did do like, hey, we're doing buy one get one free. So instead of it being $200, it's $100. You guys remember when they did the deals and stuff, but still the items are locked behind a paywall. So I myself assumed, because that's what they're charging on that machine, that that is what they are going to be charging on the arcade machines. But apparently we got some interesting information. So I'm going to pull up something for you. So apparently there are new AtGames Legends Ultimates in Canada already from the brick that have the new user interface on them. And let me pull up a picture here for you guys. Some information came out about this. So for starters, this is what got shared in one of the Discord groups, and then they shared it in my Discord. Make sure you guys join my Discord. And you'll notice here, let's kind of really zoom in for you guys. They shared, hey, guess what? OTG and external applications are a 2-in-1 bundle. Would you like to purchase this bundle? Price $15. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. If it's $15, that means it's going to be $30 grand total. Is that really the end of the world then? No. Should they be charging for it at all? Well, in my opinion, which I'm allowed to have, I don't think they should be charging for these features, period. However, quick little revenue stream for them. If they're only going to charge $30, then, you know, because as you can see, it's 15 for this and 15 for this. So that seemed okay, right? Like, okay, you know, it's going to be $30. Now, keep in mind, take a look at the time right here. October 26, 8:37 p.m. This same person who has this Legends Ultimate machine, then on the very next day, went back in and check this out, guys. This is going to blow your mind. It went up to $50. So here we are. Now it's October 28th. You got the new user interface, but look, now it's a 2-in-1 bundle for $50, which means now it's $100, $50 each. Still less than half of what they're charging on the pinball machines. But what happened? What happened between the 26th and the 28th that it went from $30 on sale for 15 to now $100 on sale for 50? Like, what happened in those 2 days? It's very, very confusing. And on the AtGames ad, when they like hyped up the fact that, hey guys, there's this unit is now available at Sam's Club. Plus, you know, they put out that YouTube video, and all they did was the slide saying we're going to do a 2-in-1 BOGO, buy one get one free to enable advanced features, but they never said the price. Think about it, guys. As of right now today, the price is still not confirmed. Is it going to jump again? What's also interesting to know is that this owner who owns this machine where the price has jumped mentioned that this machine hasn't received its day one firmware update yet. No firmware update has pushed to this machine yet. And it might be because he got his hands on it early, right? And that might be why things are changing, right? Now, once that day one firmware kicks in, are we going to find out it's $100 for each? Or are we going to find out it's $50 for each? And stuff, but they're going to be on sale. Does that make sense? Like, it's really interesting. And my apologies if I've been ignoring the chat. I've been trying to tell this story. Here's what I think needs to happen. And I'm not trying to stir up trouble, you know, everyone who's going to run back to PK and AtGames. I'm not stirring up trouble. I'm just saying us consumers would like you guys to confirm what the price will be as of what day for these features, because we know they're $200 on the pinball machine. This guy got his hands on a machine and it was $30 on sale for 15. 2 days later, it changed to it's $100 on sale for 50. Is it going to go up again? Or is this the price? You know what I mean? Like, it's not that difficult. Just tell people what it's going to be and on what day this day one firmware update is going to come out. So that's some interesting new information about this. And obviously what's happening with these new Sam's Club HD arcade machines with this new user interface, I think we can safely assume that whatever we see happen here will carry over to the new 4K arcade machines whenever those come out next year. Which I think AtGames put out an announcement saying it would be, you know, third quarter maybe. And don't I wouldn't be surprised if by third quarter next year they just announce it and like put up pre-orders for it. I don't even think those machines would arrive until maybe the end of 2025, or if not, first quarter 2026. It might be a while before we see these because they are definitely putting the focus on pinball, pushing pinball. And it's nice to see that they announced, hey, we're going to have 50 more Zen games coming to the 4K platform, as well as 20 some more HD pinball games for everyone else. It's nice to see that. 26 games, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat. You have to admit, that's a pretty aggressive rollout schedule. If there are 52 weeks in a year, for them to want to do one on average, one pinball game a week on the 4K machine, and on the HD machine, you're talking one game every 2 weeks if you average it out. That's a pretty aggressive rollout plan. Do I honestly think that that many will get released? Me personally, no. I don't see how that's possible. There's a lot to go into virtual pinball to develop and test it and release it. Do I honestly see that happening? No. But hell, if they say we want to do 26, but they get 20 games out, that'd be a win. They're like, hey, we want to release 52 Zen games, but they get like 40 out. That'd be a win. Like, would we complain? No, that's a lot of pinball. So there you guys go. So that's what's going on with the Sam's Club machine. I'm probably not going to pick one up. I mean, I have all these. I might look at the 4K machine when it comes, but I have I have other multicades coming. Plus, a couple of these redundant machines I'll be getting rid of. But, then Glenn's got his machine, which I'm waiting on the details on to see if the Glenn's Retro Show Multicade would be a Kickstarter that I'll back. I'm pretty sure I'll back it because I love Glenn. Excuse me. But what was I going to say? Still don't know all the details yet, right? Still don't know all the details. This is true, JR. Still, it's being delayed again, so it'll be about three years or something like that. Yeah. But aren't they doing a bunch? They said with Magic Pixel. I think it was 26 Magic Pixel games, which they said will come out on the HD and the 4K. Correct me if I'm wrong in the live chat, guys. We'll talk about this in just a minute, buddy. We're not there yet, Fringe. Thanks for joining the show. Hello, Marine 50. Just trying to get some of your feedback here before we get to the next topic. Hard pass on the Sam's Club HD. Speaking of redundant, rumor has it, yeah, I have the stand-up and I have the cocktail, but the cocktail is not functional yet. Okay, good stuff there. Good stuff there. So, real quick, I really don't want to talk about it, but how many of you guys saw some of the feedback today in the Facebook groups about the Arcade1UP claw machine? What'd you guys think? It seemed like there were about 3 or 4 guys that received theirs. They assembled them. They put out some pictures and video, and they seemed happy with them, those dudes. So they really weren't complaining. One guy, the only thing that I could try to say is negative is the one guy said that the motor is really loud when the claw is moving around. But minus that, like, I didn't really see them complaining about it. So you never know. Maybe that'll be a fun little product for people who are actually interested in it. I did not pre-order one. I don't have any interest in it. My wife would love for me to have a claw machine, but guys, when I'm, that candymachines.com, that $1,500 claw machine, that's the one that my wife wants. So now I got to try and save money for that. But I'd rather take that $1,500 and buy that topper for my Labyrinth pinball machine. Because we don't have the topper yet, and I want to get the topper before I can't get it anymore. and I need the topper, and it's roughly around the same price. I think that topper's like $1,600, but it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. But yeah, I mean, from what I saw, the people that I know. I mean that, but I mean legit. I mean, think about it. People will open it up and start complaining. You know what I mean? Like the people I saw all posted positive stuff. They were putting their own shit in the machines and plucking them out, and they were like, "I like it. It works." Blah blah blah. You know. So even though a lot of people weren't interested in it, enough people were that they sold shit. 700 some of those. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, that was funny too, right here, Billy Woods, because in their promote hype trailer that Arcade1UP made for the claw machine, they must not have screwed in the control panel. And the control panel was moving when the girl was trying to play the machine, and it all got caught on video. But everyone else who's actually assembled it, the control panel, totally fine. Totally fine. Screws in, stays, doesn't move, doesn't slide around, that kind of stuff, which we all assumed when we saw the video. There you go. Yeah, it'll pick up, stuff like the videos I've seen on Facebook, Scott. People were putting in like little plushies, little 5 ounce plushies that you get from Five Below, and the machine was picking them up just fine. So there you go. But there you go. All right, so let's have some fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we're at with our poll. Wow, this poll, 115 votes, and apparently I don't know if even if I left this open till the end, I don't think the others have a chance of coming back. So it looks like you guys would rather I just do the next project that I film all the steps and show you will be the Primal Rage restoration. So let's go ahead and end the poll. You guys voted for it. Keep in mind, I would have bought my first Arcade1UP in over a year and a half if you voted one of the other options, just to mod, of course. so, so there you go. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Then I'll add that to my list. So once I get the X Arcade video done and the Ridge Racer video done that I started working on yesterday, we will get that done. And if I'm ever feeling like a slacker, what I'll do, I'll call you, Fox. I don't know if my boy Fox is still here in the live chat. I'll call 19K Fox for support. Mikey Yoon, hey man, nice to see you, man. Haven't seen you in my chats in a long time. Listen, the people picking up this claw machine are buying it for their kids. Yeah, absolutely. They're buying it for their, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, or for family parties. It's not a machine they're going to play every day, right? It's a what you call a party machine. So if they want to pick it up, let them pick it up. Unacceptable Fringe is here. He gave us a $5 super chat. My kids love the Infinity Game Table. Do you think we will ever see new and better board games from A1UP PDubs, or is it DOA? They're still releasing new content for that machine all the time. Last time I checked, we haven't turned ours on in like 3 months. So, I still haven't turned it on to do the firmware update to where you can now play in lobbies and online with people. I still haven't done that yet. So ours literally is a coffee table right now that we haven't turned on in 3 months. So I've had a couple of the companies that release the games for the Infinity Game Table reach out to me, because I've reviewed a couple of games on there. If you guys remember, I don't know if any of you saw them, some of the games that got released. Some of the companies sent me codes for the games and like, will you make a video and show them off? I'm like, sure. Some of the companies still reach out to me, but I've declined like the last 5 or so that they've reached out to me, because I honestly don't know what to do with that thing. I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Not to make you guys feel sad, but do you guys remember why I got the Arcade1UP Infinity Game Table, right? I don't know how many of you have been around for a couple of years, but if you guys remember, it was a product that my wife and I were interested in because we love board games. We love playing board games. We like playing board games with our son, stuff like that. And also, I play board games with my sisters and stuff. Maybe when they come to Phoenix to visit, we could, play Sorry or whatever on the machine. But if you guys remember, we were interested. We were talking about it. And you guys remember, I had to go to Tennessee because my mother passed away. So I had to go there for the funeral and do all that stuff. And I was, the what you might call the executor. I had to handle everything because my sisters as you can imagine, were wrecks. And although I was a wreck, I got to be the man, you know what I mean, and take care of everybody. And do you guys remember when I came back from Tennessee, my wife had that waiting for me in the house, and she literally spent the $900 on it. She said, "I got this for you. It's not going to replace your mom, but I know it's something you were thinking about getting." She spent her own money on it, and she's like, "I got it for you." You know, so now it's like that table's kind of like tied into my mom's memory. So I think I'm stuck with it, guys. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think I'm stuck with it. So yeah, $5 for topper fun. Thanks so much, Scott. Um, oh yeah, I got to do that too. I haven't done that yet, but we'll get that done, Jay. I got a couple cool little products for lighting your game room, which I'll show you. Like it's kind of a sad story, but it's like I'm kind of stuck with it. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I mean, my wife bought it for me because we weren't talking about other machines. Like, oh my god, I'd really love to get that from Arcade1UP or something. It was the only thing that I was showing her and we were talking about. And I was like, it's too expensive for a giant tablet. Blah blah blah. And she went and she got it for me. So yeah. Yeah, see? You know what I'm talking about, Jim. Sorry to hear about your grandfather. My condolences, my friend. But, it's the same situation, right? Like, if something gets tied to the memory of somebody, it's harder to let it go, isn't it? It's harder to let it go. Fringe. My mom got me the first wave Street Fighter before she passed. I will never get rid of it for that reason, even if there are better versions. There you go. See? See? And again, sorry to hear about your mom, my friend. But that happens sometimes, right? So, all right. But let's get into some fun here. So, Arcade1UP Ridge Racer. So, how many of you have done the Arcade1UP Ridge Racer or Outrun mod on your machines? How many of you did it with their Android boxes? If you did it, do me a favor, give me a 1 in the chat. If it's something that you were interested in, give me a 2. And if it's something that you have 0 interest in, you can put 0 in the chat. But how many of you put the Android boxes in? Let me know. As you guys know, I did the Android box mod to my Ridge Racer, and personally, I love it, right? Personally, I love it. So the good news is, if you guys already did that mod, you're in a much better place to do the PC upgrade kit because you don't really need to buy everything from Buy Stuff Arcades versus other people who are gutting the machine from scratch, right? So it's important to note, guys, that this is going to go live on Wednesday, so just 2 days from now. They're doing the PC upgrade kit. And let's see if we can zoom in here for you guys. Unlike Michael B, I make sure you guys can see what we're looking at. PC upgrade October 30th at noon Eastern time, so that'll be 9 o'clock on the West Coast, and they'll start shipping the PCs out to people mid to late November. And choose which Arcade1UP Racer you wish to upgrade. The previous mod kit is required, as you can see here, guys. So again, if you didn't do it already, you're going to have to start from scratch and do the other mod and then get the Android and get the PC box, right? But they'll make it simple on you and all that stuff. So as we kind of take a look here, so let's say I have my Ridge Racer arcade cabinet, and let's say what we want to do is we want to upgrade, and keep in mind all the PCs will include, and this is important, a licensed copy of Big Box. So if you guys aren't familiar with Big Box, Launch Box, like, you got to pay for that. And they're like, it's $30. So Buy Stuff is paying for it because these are going to have Big Box builds on them. So, which is different than the Super Sprint I have downstairs, because the Super Sprint I have downstairs, guys, for the 360-degree wheel mods, there's a gaming PC in there, but it's running Batacera. It is not running Big Box or Launch Box. So just a heads up, totally different PC going in here, or at least PC build, right? Now, when we kind of look in here, so for the standard PC, guys, $300 for the PC, right? Now, it comes with a 4-core Ryzen chip with 16 gigabytes RAM, 1 terabyte of data storage, and it will have 300 games. And this is important. It'll have games that will run on MAME, Sega Model 2, Sega Model 3, Technoparrot, Dreamcast, GameCube, Wii, Switch, and Windows, right? And keep in mind, you're going to buy the PC, it's going to have everything set up for you. But if you wanted to get the Pro version, this mini PC will actually handle PS3, Xbox, Xbox 360 games, as well as Switch and Windows. And this will have a 2 terabyte storage drive, 500 gigabytes free, where you can go and add your other games from Steam, add games from Steam or other games. You know what I'm saying? So if you own racing games on Steam, blah, blah, blah. If I had to choose between the two, if you're on a budget, get the standard. But I honestly think for $450 for the mini PC, you're going to want to go Pro. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. If you're on a budget, by all means, just go standard. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of great racing games you'll be able to play on that PC. But with the Pro version, though, you'll be able to play better stuff, as well as I like the fact that it's going to have plenty of storage left over for you to get, for you to add more stuff, as well as your Steam games, right? Which is really, really cool. Now, one thing that they are going to do is they are going to offer a trade-in, and this is huge, right? If you have that Android gaming box and want to send it back to buy stuff, they will let you return it for a $50 store credit. That's awesome. I mean, who does that, right? I mean, that's why I like these guys. You know, I might sound like a shill right now, but I've always enjoyed the buy stuff products. But the fact that they're doing this is pretty damn cool, in my opinion. So heading back over to this, we have our return it for a store credit. Now with our auto power option, the control deck power switch will start up the whole arcade, including the PC. Without this option, you will need to use your own power bar to switch the PC on and off manually. I would recommend getting their auto power option. What I think they're talking about here, and I don't know if the buy stuff guys are watching, it is kind of late out where they're at, is inside of the Super Sprint arcade machine that I have. I don't know if you guys saw my Super Sprint video or not that I got from Buy Stuff. They have a special power strip in there. This thing is huge. It's like 2.5 feet long, but it's a smart power strip. So when it detects power coming, when you hit the power switch, it will then boot up the PC automatically. And if you hit the main on-off switch on the front of the machine to turn it off, it will kill the power to the machine, and it'll also completely shut down the PC for you. So it's like a smart power switch and stuff. Sure, you could probably go buy one at a store, but if they're going to provide it, why not get it, right? Why not get it? Now here we go. Top deck upgrade. They're saying that this is strongly recommended. Our top deck features 3 additional buttons, and 3 additional USB ports and a headphone jack, plus all the wires needed to hook everything up, including a USB hub. So there's a new top deck that goes up here that will have more buttons, and that's because some of these games will require additional buttons for you to play optimally, right? So let's throw that in there. Here it is right here, guys. Here's the top deck. So as you can see here, oh, and right here, check this out. This looks like our volume stuff. Yep, there's also an option to install the amp to control the speakers. That's the amp right there. All this stuff. There's the USB ports and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. So you could get the amp kit. Let's do the 2.0 amp kit. All right, check this out. 2.0 amp, you can get an amp and a connector for the stock speakers. The 2.1 amp, you get the amp, a bass shaker, and bass connector, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if you need that much bass coming out of this little Arcade1UP machine, that's for you. I'm going to go with the little one. Graphics, if you want to get graphics, but I like the Ridge Racer graphics, so I don't need it. 19-inch screen upgrade, I don't need it. Oh, and this will also, in case you want to put if you want to play the retro shooter console on here with the light guns, we don't need it. Pixelcade Marquee, we don't need. Beta tester, no. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's not going to give us the full price. It's reset, out of stock. Oh, darn. I was really hoping we could add it up. So for me to pre-order this, I'm looking at 30, 130, 150. Now we're down to 100 because we're going to get the $50 store credit. So $550, right? $550? Let's see. Oh, here we are right here with tax and stuff. $597. Honestly, not that bad. I mean, if you think about it, if you do a big mod to an arcade machine, you end up spending anywhere from $200 to, $1,000, depending on how crazy you go and stuff like that. So there you go. Now keep in mind, you could also trim off some of these accessories as well. So we could say, okay, we're going to use our own power strip, top deck. Probably want the top deck. Let's just say you just want to use the stock sound. Yeah, you could do that. Let's see. Where does that put us? You see, the difference is so nominal. You might as well spoil yourself, right? Let's just say we want to get the standard PC with those options, $398. And keep in mind, you're paying for a PC where somebody's already set everything up for you, and you're just plugging everything in. I think that's pretty cool. Let's kind of take a look here. Thanks so much for sticking around here, guys. Let's kind of take a look at how this is going to look. What's going to be included here. So let's see here. All right. So they got a video that they put on their channel, which actually shows us the installation stuff, which, that's easy stuff. But let's kind of see what they got to show us. All right. Got Mario Kart Double Dash, Ridge Racer, OutRun, Fast and the Furious, Faster Than Speed, Mario Kart, Arcade, 76 games. Oh, I see what we're doing here. Okay, so favorites, there's 3 games. I had to go back. I want to see how many games are on this thing. So racing games, there's 409 games. Networking capable games, 58. 10 different Ridge Racer games, 4 different OutRun games, 7 Fast and the Furious games, 7 Mario Kart games, 76 arcade games. So he's just going through the playlist. I'm looking at the details section to see how many games are actually included on this thing. Let's see if he's got any cool gameplay for us. Oh, and the light gun. Where is the racing footage? That's what we want to see, buddy. Ah, here we go. And here they are capturing the screen. Games list is not 100% finalized yet. Hey, they're here. There you go. I'll say this, Ridge Racer is one of the first cabs people wind up selling out of their collections. I've reviewed so many Arcade1UP products on my channel over the last 5 years, guys. And I got to tell you, Ridge Racer was one of the products that I gave a very positive review to. Arcade1UP and Bandai Namco did a great job on that cabinet. The emulation is fantastic. They're the actual games versus like what they did with Fast and the Furious, where they made some custom bespoke hodgepodge game instead of giving us the original games, right? And it played pretty well. The rumble was as good as you thought it was going to be from an Arcade1UP product, because it was just a rumble, just a vibration. You didn't expect it to truly be force feedback, right? And the cabinet looked great, the artwork and everything. Like I loved that Ridge Racer cabinet, but when it came time to mod it, you guys know me, I like to mod. Multicade Matt, time invested so you don't have to tinker with anything else makes it worth it. So this is kind of cool to see. We're getting some gameplay here, demos here. I think, is this California Speed? I think this is California Speed. My question is, does it have pole position? And how well does it play? So if you guys have the Android box already, if you've done that mod and you just want to buy a PC that's already set up for you, this is a great way to go. Yeah, you could do this cheaper yourself. You could just buy a cheap gaming PC that has these kind of specs for a couple $100. but then you'll have to get the big box license yourself. And then you'll have to like set everything up or find some depot where there's a build out there. And then you're going to have to also set up and configure all your controls and stuff like that. Yes, there are ways to do this cheaper on your own, right? Absolutely. It's always cheaper to do it yourself. But if you're looking for something that's a little more turnkey, minus doing, you got to change out the wiring on the encoder boards and stuff. Like minus that, this is a great way to go, right? Sony thinks it's awesome. If you guys think this is cool, if this is something you're interested in picking up this week, if not later, let me know in the live chat. Give me like a 1 in the chat if this is something you're interested in. I think it's pretty cool. I'll probably put in my own pre-order. And I'll probably do this as well and make a video for it on my channel. Although, technically, because I have Super Sprint, I really don't need more racing stuff in my life. Like Super Sprint is like my end all be all right now. But you know what? I really like what the buy stuff guys do. So yeah. Fringe, he was about to get the 4K. Looks like this upgrade is coming first. Buy stuff arcades, though, I think it would be good to for people who haven't done the first mod, because we noticed on your website it's like, hey, if you haven't done the first upgrade, stop now. Like maybe add to the website for those people starting from scratch, because there's some people who never modded their Ridge Racers or Outruns, and now after 3 or 4 years they might be ready to, right? And it'd be silly for them to buy the Android box just to return it. You know what I mean? Like they need a clear kind of upgrade path, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there you go. I think it's pretty cool, man. This is a cool little mod. I know I'll do it. I'm excited about it. I appreciate you guys looking at this with me for the first time. Still hoping Firefox will be possible on the Star Wars edition. You know what's kind of funny? And I forgot to show this. On the Star Wars, do you guys remember I did a video for the retro shooter light gun PC that you could buy from Retro Lizards, their light gun PC? They actually had the Star Wars Battle Pod game or on there, the Star Wars trilogy game, whatever it's called. And and it's a shooting game, a flying game that's on a track, right? So you could totally play it with a light gun. And that totally worked with the retro shooter light guns. Like I was literally playing Star Wars Battle Pod in my loft with a retro shooter light gun, blasting the TIE fighters and stuff. But I didn't put that in the video because whatchamacallit, I thought people just wanted to see the shooting games, not that. You know what I mean? But I should have done it because it actually worked and it worked pretty well. I'm just sitting there, shooting them all on there. So yeah. Let's see here. We have always had the encoder board only kit, that plus this, and you have everything you need. Okay, so if you've never done the mod before, the one with the Android box, take your screenshots now, get the encoder board only kit, and then you'll buy this kit. There you go. All right. Thanks so much for clearing that up for us, buy stuff. I would still try and throw that like somewhere on that webpage for this product listing. Hopefully people won't get too confused. I think a lot of people are going to be returning their Android boxes for the gaming PC. Is that just me? Like, here, take this Android box back. Because I have 2 of them. I have one underneath the Legends Ultimate here that goes with that, with Glenn's yoke and mount. And then I have the other one that's installed in my Ridge Racer. So I'll probably send one of them back. Stuff like that. Sony 4K says it's a must buy. Yeah, man, get the $50 credit. Shit. That $50 credit pays for like their power strip and like one other accessory for the bundle, as we saw. So yeah, pretty cool in my opinion. This is why I love multicades. We can be a little naughty with them. Now, hopefully soon, we'll have Glenn on to talk about his upcoming multicade. Glenn and I talked about having him on closer to when his Kickstarter goes live. I'd like to get him on sooner than that, versus waiting another month and a half, 2 months. Because I'd love to talk to him like, where you at today? And like a month or two from now, when the Kickstarter goes live, have him on when the Kickstarter goes live. So we'll probably get Glenn on. The Retrocade guys, we're going to have them on. Keep in mind their product is a lot more expensive, but there's an audience, a customer for everything, right? And their stuff too is turnkey as well. Plus, we got the Unico Nova Blast coming. We got the Polycade coming. We got our modding projects, X Arcade products. Guys, there's going to be a lot of Multicade content until the end of the year. So the next 2 months are going to be a lot of fun. Us being naughty little ROM pirates, if you will. Does that make sense? So, but that pretty much wraps up tonight's show. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's all I had for you tonight. Big shout out to Buy Stuff Arcades. Keep releasing cool shit like this, and I'm all for it. If you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on the way out, and thank you for subscribing to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and all that kinds of stuff. We'd greatly appreciate it. And we should hopefully be back next week as well. And this week I'd like to get a couple of videos out, at least the Super Sprint video and the X Arcade video. Oh, and the Evercade video, the Evercade Alpha. They sent me that for a review. The embargo lifts on November 1st. So it's 3 days from now, guys. 3 days before you can see it. So that'll be fun to show that off as well. It's a neat little product, but it's a product not for everybody. Anyway, guys, do me a favor. The nights are long, the nights are cold, the nights are dark. And before you hop in bed and your wife or girlfriend puts her freezing ass feet on your back, shins, knees, thighs, because women are always so frickin' cold, before that happens, warm yourself up and go play your multicades. I'll talk to you guys next week.